Excuse me. What in the world are you thinking?
Mean Gene, the first thing you need to do is to tell these people to shut up if you want to hear what I gotta say.
What up, y'all? It's KMB, the Sex Ninja, in the place to be for a Paper Saber universe, and this is the New World Podcast, brother. And we're going to talk about NXT, August 15th, 2023. Vic Joseph, Booker T on commentary. I did something that I normally didn't do, but just for time crunch sakes, Jesus, talk, man, talk. I watched the Hulu edition of NXT. Kept three things off, Dana Brooke and Blair Davenport. I went and checked that match out. And it did not look so great, so I'm glad I didn't get to see the whole thing. Von Wagner and Baron Corbin segment that's not on the Hulu edition was pretty good. I went and watched it on YouTube real quick. But Von Wagner coming out, Baron Corbin talking about the new era and stuff like that. You know, then they didn't have Tyler Bate versus Joe Coffey with Gallus on this card, but you know, I'm glad I didn't see it because Daiba Kato came out and caused a DQ for Tyler Bate to lose. But that was it. They kept all the good stuff. And I think that's what I liked, was this is an hour edition of NXT, and they cut out all the filter. And, you know, I'm not going to do this all the time, but I just was really curious. I'm like, you know, let me actually watch the Hulu edition of NXT, and I got to say, I really enjoyed myself with this just hour of NXT because it does get down to the point of main storytelling. And we started off with the NXT Tag Team Championships. We got the family putting up those titles against the Dyad and Schisms on the outside, and this was a fun match. Not the greatest tag team match in the world, but it was a fun match. The family for the win. But what was great about this was Ivy Niles comes out, distracts all of Schism outside, and of course, you know, not the Creed brothers, wink, wink, attacks the Dyad and gets the family the win over the Dyad and everything like that. And my favorite part is like when the music goes on and Schism's like, oh shit, you know. But the Creed brothers did not reveal themselves, so we don't know. Who is causing to cut the branches inside Schism, okay? And then we have Duke and Chase backstage. You know, Chase sets up a match for Thea. Thea's just not happy about it. She's like, why are you doing this? And then Duke turns on him and says, yeah, why are you doing this to her? You know, and my favorite part is after Thea's like, fine, I'll face JC Jane later on tonight. Chase just goes, what the fuck, man? You know, of course it got beeped up, but man, I haven't laughed so hard. That was just fun. It was just funny. It was just funny just to hear that beep, you know. Also backstage, Carmelo's doing the signing and stuff like that. Wesley comes up and he's just like, hey, you know, he's like, tonight I'm going to get beat Dijak and all this and that. And Melo's like, yeah, come talk to me then when you actually do. We had an Eddie Thorpe package, which is really cool, exploring his Native American side and stuff like that. That's pretty dope. Dijak goes in and interrupts Carmelo too backstage, and they just have this whole segment of Carmelo backstage signing autographs and stuff like that. So, but there is a point to it which I like. So let me get that out there right now. Next up, we have Trick Williams versus Drew Gulak, with Dempsey and Kemp on the outside. But Jensen and Brooks come out and attack Dempsey and Kemp in order for Trick Williams to win. He's got a huge match next week against Ilya Dragunov at Heatwave. We have a Mustafa Ali State of Address for the North American Championship, you know, claiming that, you know, he needs to be the next champion. You know, we can't have Dirty Dom being champion and stuff like that. I don't know. I really like this. It's like, put your hand down and stuff like that. And, you know, you need a real North American champion. And I really did enjoy this. I really did enjoy this little package with Mustafa Ali. And I'm really liking what he's doing in NXT. Like he's gaining some momentum as a character, which he was not doing on the main roster. And every time he was on the main roster and I saw him, I was like, oh man, get this guy off the screen right now. Dom and Rhea's backstage. They sent out a challenge to Dragon Lee and Lyra Valkyria for Heatwave next week, mixed tag match. So I was like, man, Heatwave's looking pretty damn good. I will admit. Next up on the show, we have the number one contenders match for the NXT Championship. Wesley versus Dijak, and man, this was fucking awesome. I mean, these two just going at it. There's this one spot with the stairs and stuff like that Dijak just throws Wesley, and I was like, oh my God, he killed him, and this was a really fun match. This was my match of the night, to be really honest. I had a lot of fun with this match. I think Wesley's great. I like that Eddie Thorpe came out and, caused a distraction for Dijak to lose, because that story's not over, and Wesley, I cannot wait for Wesley and Carmelo Hayes next week, and I like this new attitude of Wesley. Like, man, I ain't holding back no more. I ain't doing this again. I am going to take that championship. We have Lyra and Dragon Lee backstage next week. They're talking about their match. They're going to take on Dirty Dom and Rhea. And my favorite part about this is Lyra goes, yeah, me and you, we got to get, be on the same wavelength chemistry. And Dragon Lee's like, whoa, I'm taken. He's like, she's like, no, that's not what I meant. So it dragged on a little longer than it should. But it was fine, but we're going to have that next week. Thea Hale up next with Chase U behind her versus JC Jane. Once again, causing more drama. JC Jane tried to expose the turnbuckle, and Chase tried to fix it and everything like that, but it didn't help. JC Jane still won the match. Thea's match. She's pissed. She's like, what are you doing? And she walks out. So I don't know why, but I'm really enjoying the drama with Chase U, and I'm enjoying this newish attitude for Thea Hale, and she's not so bubbly and whatnot like she was. I like this Thea Hale compared to the old Thea Hale. Los Lotharios package, man, they're getting a reboot. No more kissing the ladies, no more pulling off the pants, no more trying to be cute. It's time to step up. And these two are very talented. It's just been one of those things. It's been a minute since they've won anything. They just became a joke. They had that kissing camera for a while. I like the fact we're going to get serious with these two. And, last week they did a package, and they were in bed and whatnot, texting each other. And they're like, for Grandpa, this and that. And, what would he say about us now? And so it really sets up, what they got here. And they both wake up in the bed, and they know it's time to go. So the reboot is on the way. I love this so much. Wesley goes backstage to Mello. He's back there, signing more autographs and stuff like that. And he puts the contract because he got it from Shawn Michaels earlier. And Mello's like, all right, I'll see you next week. He goes, no, you're going to see me now. I'm done waiting. Wipes all his autograph pictures off the table. Then he hits the bottom of the table, so it collapses, and he takes the table. I was like, damn, son, Wesley ain't fucking around. He took your table, dude. And this sets up a contract signing between Wesley and Carmelo Hayes. Wesley goes on this great promo. Carmelo comes at him, and I love the fact that he used, don't go chasing waterfalls, kid, basically. And I was like, whoa. That is such a cool line to pull right here, right now. I honestly thought it was cool. I didn't think it was cheesy at all, but it sets up, these two face-to-face. They're going to face each other at Heat Wave next week, and Wesley breaks the table, by jumping on it. And I was just like, all right, let's go, man. Let's go. Don't go chasing waterfalls, kid. Tiffany package, and I don't care. She's going to be back next week at Heat Wave and stuff like that, and I'm just like, I don't know what we're doing here with this title reign, but it's falling really, really flat. But Heat Wave next week, we got Ilya Dragunov versus Trick Williams, the Judgment Day versus Dragon Lee and Lyra Valkyria, Carmelo Hayes versus Wesley for that championship, then and Nathan Frazier putting up the Rail Cup against Noam Dar, then Von Wagner versus Baron Corbin. That's a hell of a card for TV. And on this NXT journey, I was very critical in the beginning, but now I'm really enjoying these characters, these wrestlers and performers and stuff like that. I'm enjoying, and now I'm more involved with the storylines, and I'm invested now, and I think that's what it takes when you start watching a show. At first you're like, yeah, okay, whatever. But then when you're invested, it becomes a fun ride. It becomes a fun journey. So honestly, I give this show a solid, the Hulu edition, a solid 5 out of 5. I really did have a good time with this, and I might try it next week again, see what I miss, because I always do the DVR for this. So, but there we go, 5 out of 5 for the Hulu edition of NXT, August 15, 2023. Vic Joseph, Booker T on commentary. It's in the bag, and we're on the Heat Wave next week. That's it. That's all. Tell me what you thought of the show. Drop those comments below. Hit that like. Hit that subscribe. Share it with your grandma. Share it with your grandpa. Share it with the bum down at Walmart. I am KMB, the Sexy Ninja. And remember that the New World Podcast is for life, brother.
Only thing left, most important signature of the night.
Hey, man. Congrats, you did it, but I'll see you next Tuesday.